Hey, what's going on, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another match preview. Now, this is being uploaded on the Friday, which is usually the day before a game, but for whatever reason, mainly due to rugby, our game against Cardiff is away on a Friday night. Now, that is one hell of a trip. We're looking at, 6 hours in the car from Yarmouth, probably about 5.5 from Norwich. That is one hell of a trip on a Friday night. Anyone going, if you are going and you're watching this, you're probably already en route. Just a massive well done to you. Do slightly question your sanity as well. I was thinking about it. I've got the day off work today, and then common sense hit me, and I thought, no, I really can't be getting back at like 6 o'clock the following morning watching Norwich City play Cardiff. But to anyone who's gone, well done. I do also want to say a massive thank you to OneFootball. Now, you guys know OneFootball by now, surely. They've been sponsoring these videos for the past 3 months, which is very absolutely brilliant. OneFootball is an app which brings together all of the latest footballing news, and you can follow all of your favourite teams. You can check all of the latest stats, and you can see what's going on. The top news story at the moment is Pogba won't fight Young for Manchester United free kick duties. Big news, of course. But the big news is, of course, Norwich City versus Cardiff, which is kicking off in 9 hours, according to this app, which is good. So let's have a look at Cardiff. Well, they're doing incredibly well this season. Let's have a look at the table. They're currently second, which if they stay there towards the end of the season, they will be going up automatically. Only Wolves are above them, and Sheffield United are in third. That is a very good group of teams. That Cardiff have been performing very well this season. They've hardly conceded any goals, just 13 goals conceded this season. They haven't lost at home this season. That is quite an astonishing record when you look at it. They've picked up 40 points, 12 wins. They're doing very, very well indeed. Us, on the other hand, we're down in 15th place. However, a win could take us right up to 10th if we do win. So it is still very tight in there, but we need to keep the pace, and we need to keep with the pace now, because we are slowly but surely falling further and further down the league. In terms of Cardiff, who's been playing well for them? Well, they haven't scored a ton of goals, but their defence has just been absolutely fantastic. Kenneth Zahore is out for them. I've always been impressed with him, so that's a big loss for them. I mean, they've got Omar Bogle up front, who we'll probably all remember from last year when we played Wigan, and Bogle scored twice against us. I think he'd been at Grimsby before that. They've got Junior Hoylett, Gunnarsson, of course, Anthony Pilkington, who I always loved when he was at Norwich City. They've got a nice kind of core of players, and of course managed by Neil Warnock, who, love him or hate him, kind of is an effective championship manager. So that's that. How am I feeling going into this? Well, of course, I'm not deluded. I'm expecting the worst, and the worst is, of course, a defeat. And on paper, and the neutral and the gamblers of you out there would, of course, be putting Cardiff down on your accumulator, because it just makes sense. They haven't lost at home. They're doing very well. We're playing poorly. We haven't won in 7. And things don't look great, but it would be so typical of Norwich to turn up when we least expect them to. And we need to snap out of this run at some point. It will end at some point. And it would almost be apt of Norwich to do that tonight. And I suppose that the joy of this situation is expectations are very low to a certain extent. Of course, we want Norwich City to go into the top 6, and we expect Norwich City to be doing better than we are. But going to Cardiff, we're not expecting anything, and that means almost that you're going into it with a very pessimistic attitude. But from that attitude comes a sense of almost freedom, that if we lose, who cares, and if we win, then happy days. So it is a very odd situation. Injury news is looking a bit better. When I say a bit better, it's still pretty horrific. But Tim Close is going to be back. Tom Tribal's going to be back, and also Cameron Jerome. Now, all of them players are coming back, but probably not going to be fit for the full 90 minutes, which once again is almost like when Nelson Oliveira got back from injury, where he was kind of fit, but not for the whole game. And it does stink of desperation once again. It's very similar to Alex Pritchard, and thank God he didn't get injured seriously against Preston last weekend, because he's not fully fit. We just had to bring him in because he was our only option of saving us. And it's the same with Tim Close, it's the same with Tom Tribal, it's the same with Cameron Jerome. They are not fully fit, but we are having to bring them back in because we don't really have any replacements, which is a worry, of course it is. But look, on paper, our team is decent. We have got a decent team, whatever you say, and our record at Cardiff is good. We've won our last 4 games against Cardiff, which is very good, and we have never won 3 consecutive away games at Cardiff in our history. We could do that tonight with a win. So there's some records to be broken there if you want to read into them. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? And if we do lose, then it once again heaps pressure on the next game, and our run up to Christmas now is tough. We've got some very tough games in here, so we need to be picking up points. If not, we're going to be closer to the relegation zone than the playoff section very soon, and that is a worry. So let's hope things go right. I wouldn't change too much in terms of the starting lineup from last time. I think Nelson should start up front. I'd probably bring Tim Closer back in, maybe for Zimmerman, and play him next to Hanley. I think Hanley's been excellent, except for that same kind of defence. I'd keep Stiepman in at left back. Husband, I think, is still out injured. The midfield is always a worry, I would have assumed. That Mario Vrancic will be in there, probably next to Harrison Reed. Would you drop Vrancic out and risk Tom Tribal for the whole 90? Probably not. So that's that. Let me know your starting 11 down in the comment section below. Let me know your score prediction. I'm going to go for an optimistic 1-1. Yeah, thank you to all of our fantastic sponsors. Thank you to OneFootball. Links to them will also be in the description below if you want to download the app. Thanks for watching, and see you later. Peace out.